Alright, what's up, everybody? My name's Ishmael Ramirez. I'm going to be giving you guys topic number 3, which is reading M. Butterfly by David Henry Hwang. And I'm going to be giving you guys a brief summary about it so you guys can see and get an idea of what it's about and see if you guys want to read it. And then I'm going to be giving you guys some historical concepts to go along with that, just to see some backstory of what the playwright was like and what the play was like. And then I'm going to be pitching you guys my ideas as if I'm a costume design about the characters based on the time period and based off of what their character persona was like. So I hope you guys enjoy. Alright guys, so getting into a brief history and accomplishments about this play. Basically the play was laid out from a different play called Madama Butterfly, and that was made in 1904. And with that, it actually didn't get published until 1935 by Giacomo Puccini, who was the playwright for that. And so he had to wait until 1935 for that play to be published. And this version of it, of M. Butterfly by David Henry Hwang, it was actually appeared on Broadway on 1988. And from 1988 to 1990, there were about 777 appearances, so you can tell that it was actually pretty famous. And it actually still is. It's pretty interesting, and it got over 19 nominations, but had only won 12 awards. It was a finalist for the Pulitzer Prize, which is one of the drama's most recognizable awards. And so, with that, let's get onto the summary. All right. So, going off of a summary for M. Butterfly, it pretty much starts off by introducing the main character, Rene Gallimard, who is a French diplomat stationed in China, and he's just working there. He works in part of the war. He gains information about the Vietnam War, which is very important because during his nightlife, when he goes out into the town, actually make a note that Renee is actually married. So he actually goes and has an affair with a woman by the name Song Liling, and Song is actually a spy for the Chinese, and Song is actually a man dressed as a woman. But Gallimard doesn't know that, and they end up having a 20-year relationship where Gallimard still doesn't even know that she's a guy. And Song actually gives him a child, but he doesn't know that she's a guy still when they have a child because she actually leaves and he actually goes back to France. But they meet up again later back in France at his place, and his wife leaves him because he finds out about the relationship they've been having, and then yeah, so they have their relationship with their son for 20 years. And after those 20 years, Song finally turns him into the police because what Song was doing as a spy was extracting information about the Vietnam War. And so, with that information, she gave to the Chinese and turned him in for treason. So, Gallimard actually spent the rest of his life in prison. Or actually, he doesn't really say, but he spends a long ordeal in prison, and basically he ends up killing himself over the factuation that he's in love with her slash him. But he does get over the fact that he doesn't love her anymore until the very end, but he ends up killing himself either way. So that's basically the summary. Alright, so first we're going to get into Rene Gallimard, the main character of the play. And so, like I said before, Renee's kind of a klutz, kind of non suave with the ladies. So I see him kind of as a dunce in all of this because not only does he not recognize Song as a man for 20 years, but he actually goes about his life carefree and not caring for others and kind of not even caring for himself. So as you can see, the prison suit that I gave him was because throughout the whole play he's actually in a prison cell. We just make flashbacks to what had already occurred, but in the present time for when all this is happening, Rene Gallimard is actually in a prison, and so I kind of chose this prison suit with the black and white colors and those stripes going across from it because it reminds you of the old school prisoners, and that's kind of where this time period was. It was in the older times, and so yeah, and it kind of makes you look like a fool wearing this striped prison suit. Actually, pretty funny if you ask me. Alright, so moving on to Song Liling. Song is actually a really smart woman for being able to deceive Gallimard like that for 20 years. And so you gotta give her props for that, or him. But yeah, so she psychologically manipulates Gallimard, and that's really a strong trait to have, especially in her terms when she's trying to extract information. So she uses, or he uses, the mind of a man, which he knows because he's actually a guy, to manipulate another man, which is Gallimard, which is actually really smart. So as you can see, I chose this kimono because being a Chinese woman or a guy turned into a woman, you can see that she would be wearing this a lot. And given this bold red color, I really like this design. And this bold red color really gives him slash her this perception that he's strong. He knows what he wants, and he knows what he's doing. And he's really smart about it. All right, so moving on to Helga Gallimard, the wife of Rene Gallimard. I gave her a white dress only because I didn't want to give her something that came out bold or came out popping or came out as exciting because her character is actually kind of like a pushover. He's kind you know that Rene's of Klutz. He's not really a Rico Suave. So then why would he have a wife? Why would he have Helga? Well, Helga's even worse than him, I believe, because when he actually had the affair, she knew that he would cheat, but yet she still wanted to stay with him. So I kind of think that with this white dress, it's not too flattering and it's not too popping, and it doesn't really scream at you of her ambition. It's just simple, it's subtle, it's there. It's just like her. She's just kind of like a pushover. All right, so now we're gonna look at Comrade Shin. I actually wanted to do this character because it does play an important role, but it is one of the very few Chinese army characters that there are in this play. So Comrade Shin is actually who Song reports to every now and again. So we'll break away from the main story plot and we'll follow Song to her meetings with Chin and see what they talk about. And basically, they're just talking about how what new information was discovered, and there's also a scene where Song tells Comrade Shin that she almost got discovered, that Gallimard wanted her to take all her clothes off, but in order to stop him, she told him that she was pregnant. So that was kind of a crazy scene involving Comrade Shin. And so I gave Comrade Shin this Chinese army uniform, and it kind of suits her because that's all you really see with Comrade Chin is them talking about war stuff or new information. So given this this army suit, this Chinese army suit is pretty great.